So this is going to be the first video about FPV drones, and I kind of do things the wrong way, so don't judge me too much on this one. If you're a drone pilot or you're in the hobby, try not to judge me too much. I tend to do things the backwards direction here, where I go all out, go crazy, dive right into it, and then I kind of have to backtrack and learn how to fly, etc., etc. So the main reason I bought this drone is because of the price. This was incredibly cheap. I've been hitting eBay a lot looking for good drone deals. This is a Rotor Riot, I believe it's a CL1. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But this was something that somebody built, and it's a pretty sweet little drone. Very heavy duty frame here, you can see. It's ultra thick. It's probably a good 1/4 inch thick. Aside from that, this would be a great drone for me to crash, in my opinion, because it is such a thick frame. It's going to really hold together well. I believe this is a 6S capable from what the previous owner set it up for. Now, this is probably way too much drone for me to fly my first time out, and I know that. I'm not trying to go out and do 100 miles an hour on my first go, but this was one of the first drones that I bought. Yes, I have more. So this drone I also bought on eBay. The guy that lost this auction is probably very pissed at me. This was a backpack set. It had goggles, it had a radio, the whole 9 yards. Batteries, it came with a charger, it came with everything, extra props, extra antennas. Now this one is ELRS compatible, and if you don't know anything about drones like I do, you're kind of like, what the heck is ELRS? A lot of drone videos I watch on YouTube, people sit there and they're like, oh, Betaflight this and this, that, and the other. And it's like, what are you talking about? So obviously do some research on it. What I got out of that is it's an extra long range system, basically. I don't know if that's exactly what it stands for, but it gives you a longer distance where you can fly this drone away from your goggles and the actual controller. So that's kind of where the whole drone scene is going, is to this ELRS thing. But this drone is the same frame as the other one. Now the legs here are a lot thinner, but the thickness is probably about the same. So this is probably going to be, when I get pretty good with drones, this is going to be the go-to. I have a feeling this is a very fast drone. So here's a funny story for you. So I'm cruising eBay and I see this little micro drone for sale. It is I think it's a, I don't remember what this is. It was pretty cheap. I think it was like $70, and it had 1S LiPos. This is actually a 1S. Now, for those of you that don't know about LiPos, there are different sizes. You have 1S, 2S, 4S, 6S, etc., etc. And that's basically the amount of cells that it has. So if there's a techno geek in here, try not to roast me too much, but if I'm missing anything, just let me know in the comments where people can learn from this. Like I say, I'm not a huge drone guy, so I don't really know that much about them yet, but I'm learning. I was trying to fly this in the apartment last night and I kept crashing it. So needless to say, the FPV camera just kind of dangles from it and that sort of thing. Always thinking 5 steps ahead, I found this little tiny carbon frame here on Amazon for $18.99, and I will put an affiliate link down in the description for anything that I buy Amazon wise. And I do get a little kickback from that. So if you want to help keep the channel running, please use the affiliate links. This flight controller and everything should perfectly fit in this. This is a 16x16 or a 20x20 flight controller. That's the bolt hole pattern in millimeters. So my plan is to put this flight controller ESC and the video system from this into this little frame. It's a little bit wider, a little more stable, and I think it'll fly better inside. Now, this drone was pretty quick inside. I was really surprised how fast it was. For in the apartment, learning how to fly, if you have restrictions in your area where you can't fly drones outside, that's kind of a thing as well. I'm finding out some of the restrictions out there are not so drone friendly, which I think is kind of stupid. Back in the day, remote control aircraft like airplanes and helicopters and that sort of thing, those were not really frowned upon. So I don't know why drones are. I guess privacy with the cameras on them and that sort of thing. People aren't so hip on that, which I understand. Anyway, that's enough about that nonsense, but this is going to be a cool build. Now, in all of my research, a couple of things I have learned. If you are looking at getting started in FPV drones, buy a transmitter and then go online, and DRL, the Drone Racing League website, has a simulator you can buy. It's $9.99. I would definitely recommend getting a simulator, because what it has done is it's really helped me with muscle memory, and I haven't done that much simulator drone flying, or real drone flying for that matter either. When I was flying this little guy around the house yesterday, I did notice when I would take off, it would start getting out of control. And in that simulator, I was kind of learning that muscle memory that it takes to control the drone. And I believe once I got the hang of it and I was flying around, I kind of just reacted without thinking about it, and the drone did exactly what I wanted it to do without me having to like really think about where the sticks are. So drone simulators are awesome. So we're going to get more into that as well. I'll kind of show you the setup I have as well, and we'll see if that works for you. Great. If not, if it doesn't, at least you kind of have a complete noob opinion about it, where you can kind of say, well, I don't know anything about this, but I kind of like to try it. That's where I'm at in life with a lot of projects and a lot of hobbies. So if that's something that you're doing, I hope to really help people like that, where don't make the same mistakes I've made. You know, make your own decisions for your own reasons. But one thing, this little guy is such an old drone, I couldn't get it to bind with my transmitter. And I just picked up one of the new Radiomaster Zorro transmitters, and I was like, you know, I'm going to try it. I had already ordered another drone on Amazon, which there will be a review on that coming up. But I messed around with this, and I actually got it to bind and flew it around. So there's some tricks. If you buy an older drone, maybe it will or will not work with the new technology equipment. That's kind of a thing across the whole tech board, right? If it works with old stuff or new stuff, it kind of doesn't. Sometimes you just don't know. So I thought I wasted a bunch of money on this, but this is actually probably one of the best purchases I've made so far in the end, even though yesterday I was complaining about it. I do have to tell you one thing. First flight with this guy, did a perfect loop, and freaked out because I thought I was losing control of it, when in reality it had recovered fully and was just sitting there hovering, and I just freaked out and hit the kill switch on it. But I thought that was pretty funny. It just did a perfect little loop on me, and I'm like, how did I do that? Probably a long video, but there you have it. This is kind of where I'm at with drones, and we're going to be doing more, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.